are with Asa, and I'm really excited about this because I have been a fan of Asa's music for years, and he wrote me and he said he wanted to do a cleanse at Phuket Cleanse, and I was so shocked because I was almost starstruck because I had followed his music. I may have been one of the first big followers of your music. And yeah, so I was so happy and looking forward to him coming, and now he's here. And I've spent time getting to know Asa, and I'd really like to use his music in our meditation program here at Phuket Cleanse. So to help you understand about his music, I'm going to interview Asa. So Asa, my first question I want to ask you about is I want you to tell me about binaural beats and brainwave entrainment.
Sure, yeah. So binaural beats, so bi basically means two.
Yes.
And aural is sound, so it means two sounds.
Yes.
And with binaural beats, what happens is you're listening with headphones and you're getting two tones played into each ear individually. And what that does is it causes the brain to have to kind of combine them and collapse them into a single tone because it can't process them individually.
Yes.
And what that does is it causes this syncopation following response to happen within the brain. You know, the brain waves are constantly creating brainwave patterns.
Yes.
And there's a different brainwave pattern associated with each state of consciousness. So we have, you know, the waking state, the hyper alert state of beta, the alpha state, which is a little bit more relaxed and attentive. There's theta, which is like the dreamlike state or hypnotic state, and then there's delta, the dreamless sleep state. And with binaural beats, we can actually entrain the brain, meaning we can get the brain to kind of line up and syncopate with these acoustic stimuli.
Yes.
So that we can induce a particular state of consciousness.
Okay.
So with meditation, for example, a lot of people find it rather difficult to really enter into a deep state of meditation, especially in the beginning.
Yes.
I know personally for myself, I meditated for many, many years, and I was basically just sitting there listening to my mind. It was just constant mind chatter, and I felt like I wasn't getting anywhere, and I got super frustrated and wanted to give up. So I learned about binaural beat frequencies and entrainment programs, and I started experimenting with them, and I realized I could instantaneously go into a state of calm stillness.
Yes.
The mind would instantaneously quiet down.
Yes.
And I was able to make progress a lot more quickly.
Yeah.
And it felt really good, so I just kept going with it.
Okay, so this has been my experience with binaural beats. I have used binaural beats for years and have been able to make tremendous progress in my meditation. And we've been using binaural beats here at Phuket Cleanse, and I've been a huge fan. But what's really exciting is that Asa has collaborated or has combined binaural beats with some of his solfeggio frequency music. And if you look up solfeggio frequencies on YouTube, Asa's music's going to come up. His name is really associated with the solfeggio frequencies. It's quite beautiful. So he's combined these two technologies. Solfeggio frequencies are an ancient technology, and I'd like you to explain that now.
Sure, yeah, solfeggio frequencies, now there's a lot of layers that we could investigate with solfeggio frequencies. Because they're really multifaceted in terms of how we could explore them. So the simplest way that we can describe solfeggio frequencies is that they are a series of tones that are said to convey a particular spiritual blessing on those people who listen to them or intone them.
Yes. And so one of his, if you just want to quickly YouTube look up one of his solfeggio frequencies, there's the 528 solfeggio frequency, and I think it's called Miracle.
Miracle, yes, that's one of them.
And that's the one that my friends and I passed around. We love it, and I've listened to it for years. I've listened to it for years. How many hits have you had on some of your more popular solfeggio frequencies?
It's over 1 million. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't checked in on it in a while.
So it's pretty powerful, and there's a reason there have been 1 million hits, because It's such a powerful piece to listen to for meditation, and I think it's appropriately named Miracle because the music does induce that state of gratitude and the feeling of a miracle. So you'll just have to listen to it to understand what I mean. So I would like you to now explain how you combine the solfeggio frequencies with binaural beats and the effect that it's having on people in terms of meditation.
Sure. So what I do with the entrainment programs that I create is I start with a particular frequency, a particular tone.
Yeah.
And that tone acts as like it's the carrier frequency for the binaurals.
Yes.
So basically, it's the center point around which I will create the composition. Mm. So when we entrain to a particular sound meditation that I've created,
yeah.
It's not just an arbitrary brainwave state. I don't just pick a particular brainwave range like theta, for example, which is anywhere between like 4 and 7 hertz.
Yes.
I actually look at the harmonic relationship of that particular brainwave state with the carrier frequency that it's on so that they line up and they match.
Oh, okay. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
So then we're going to take all the benefits of binaural beats that have been used for years and years for meditation and even for the purposes of learning, and we're combining it with the solfeggio frequencies. So we're really creating a multi-tiered approach because I bet you even have something else thrown in there besides
yeah.
solfeggio frequency.
I use a lot of methods in the creation of my music, including incorporating the golden mean ratio. And my goal is to really create music in a similar fashion that nature creates life. So it incorporates sacred geometry and the Fibonacci sequence, and I guess the goal is to really mirror the way of nature to the best of my ability. Yeah.
Well, Asa's been really kind to work with us and make some meditation music specifically for detoxers. So while detoxing with us, you'll be able to work with some of the music he's especially created during his detox here. And then also I suggest you go to Source Vibrations, his website, and you're going to find fabulous music. And if you just want a taster of it, go to YouTube, type in solfeggio frequencies or Source Vibrations.